My name is Lecturer Kilaji Bishop Kenya Michael Thomas speaking this afternoon here in Mbakasi village. Mbakasi is constituency Miongo ward in my house at Mbakasi village, a house which was actually left by British government in 1956 and we have renovated it. So that's me, Lecturer Kilaji, a very distinguished priest of Kenya Public Statement Bishop. Simply because I've taught paramilitary general service unit and official force equivalent to Kenya Defense Forces here in Utawala College for 12 years, 2004-2016. Free because I know both theologies, Islamic and Christianity, good ideology and also terrorist ideology on both religions. Having been trained at Kapsaiba College for 4 years and Vision International University, Ramona, California, an affiliate campus here in Kenya of USA, United States of America for 3 years also, and Kapsaiba College for 4 years, Kenya, and also Covenant College of, College of Pastors, International Narrow County Government, I've taught them. Having also completed, distance learner Islamic Studies at Columbia International University. Here is the catalog if you want to apply. Here it is. Alright, Columbia International University. The president at that time actually, when I was actually also a student, is none other than somebody called George W. Murray, president. He's here. You can check. Alright, you want to apply. So it is a kind of a university which offers people Islamic studies, and you can choose whichever kind of it's accredited kind of a university. So you can study about Islamic theology and also cross-cultural studies, whichever all these courses. All right, and you will end up now knowing what you want to study. You can, all the units are here, graduate level. All right, courses of what you can check here. Alright, you can check here if you wish to apply. Alright, so that is how it is. Alright, that's how it is. Today I would like us to study about prayer, because we need prayers globally, especially now when a third world war kind of a war, Armageddon in the Bible predicted in the book of Jeremiah. Not Jeremiah, yes, and Habakkuk prophets, and also Revelation 16:16. It is reported about this kind of prediction of this war, which is going on globally. Now people are hating each other, and also in Matthew chapter 24, people are killing each other all over the world, including Kenya. It's reported that every day we are losing so many human beings, unnecessarily abductions, and also extrajudicial killing in Kenya and other nations too. So there's no kitu naitwa amani. There's no peace and unity of purpose and love. Okay, and in that case, globally, all over the world, but extremely, it is now becoming in some other countries worse. Like now, Congo, the president now under siege, that is Honorable Felix Tshisekedi, and he's supposed actually to flee before people reach him now. We are in that kind of only second city now, which is after the big city of Kinshasa has been annexed by the rebels. That is military militias, civilian militias called M23. So my word to the president of Congo, ajuaye kutenda mema na atende ni dhambi, let him not wait them to finish his family. Alright? Because sometimes God can use evil to do good. If the country leadership is not good, M16 is the answer. No, M23, no 16. M23 militias can give the answer to the prevailing kind of problem of corruption in that country. And that's what the Bible says in Habakkuk also, chapter 1, verse 6 and 13. God can sometimes use what you think is evil, okay, to accomplish his work. Alright? To make actual soldiers to rape human beings and victimize them and torture them and kill them, including pregnant women opening their stomach. Okay? And smash kids, infants, against the rocks, in order for those people who are in a position of authority to wake up or to flee from the countries. That is what had happened during King Joachim of Israel. At the time when Prophet Habakkuk complained to God, it happened that King Joachim and his cronies had grown wealthy by injustice and exhortation that time. In that kind of Habakkuk chapter 1 verse 6 and 13, and so God used other nations to discipline them, other forces, other armies to discipline Judah. Okay, that time the Israelite country, and so they disciplined the leaders in position of authority at that time to wake up or to flee in that case. What we want to say, we need prayers in that case, and we are going to read Matthew chapter 7 verse 7 and 8, whereby God is commanding us to ask Him things we need, and to seek what we need, and also to knock persistently God's door all the time, praying without ceasing, to ask God over the same thing until He agrees. And sometimes He may also not agree. So we are told here in Matthew 7 chapter 7, our kind of inspiration from a tax collector, one of the Jesus' disciples wrote to us. He said, ask and seek and knock persistently. Ask and it will be given. That's Matthew 7 verse 7 and 8. Ask and it will be given to you. Seek and you will find. Knock and the door will be open to you. For everyone who asks receive, who seek find, and to him who knocks the door will be open. That's what actually English translation speak, New International Version Bible here. All right, that's what what we are reading. Okay, and then I'm going also to read from my own mother tongue, Samburu's New International Version. All right, in Samburu language, Lingongejuk Lenkotok Ea Samburu. This is how it is. This is in cooperation translated by the Literacy East Africa, in cooperation with the Wycliffe Bible Translator Inc., United States of America. Here it is. This is my first school. My mom taught me. It is a Samburu subtribe, Maasai from South Horn. Alright? And I was born in Marsabit County, not Samburu County, by an Israelite, and who actually also made me what I am now, by God used him. But my mom was married by a traditionalist Samburu subtribe, Laibon, the late Mr. Lakudel Otome. With 3 wives, my mom was the second. So I don't want to repeat the same thing, but people believe that I'm an Israelite, a kind of a crossbred, which I believe it is like that, surely. So, beyond doubt. So I'm also to read in that language, which I know very well as the first language I've come to know on it, through my mom as a teacher, Honorable Christina Nanteyo Loltome. He is a person who believes God also. Kwa hivyo kajalo malanga iteneza hazo na kitabu na Mathayo sura ya 7 ligerele ya 7 zana siya optiona mbaga leiset Mathayo 7 mstari wa 7 mpaka 8. Na jolo malanga itene anto munu ente yai yango dukodo ngajangai anto munu amon ngai dokiti yo. Okay, ente yai sindo kini yo na tangai ningo dukod mara jamlango ngai amun ngai na amgo ban tendo no mlango ba ye adol ngai to ngai tasndai. Opening and closing in inverted commas. Lomon et seral tongani kolo ejin edungu te namba ina in exclamation mark. Opening and closing in inverted commas. Nejo ento monu na ke shorin dai. Ente yai na itumutum dukuti niyo na duage yango dukodo si na ngajangai na ke bolnintai tanago yomon na dungukoto amgore poke ngayo monu nanga manga ina ikonija kore lo oya na ke tumundo na yu na dangai kore lo oikoduko dungoto gangaji ne bolu na ngai ne yoro malanga itene Yes. Mare wina buku compound nung ko bol tungo no tu ata pa. Yo buiter kai. Ke jong kai yon to mon kai. Mare yo papa la yutu apa ngai nyala yutu apa yo la ina tu apa la chala yutu apa. Sambur. Amo golo tu ngala la aja ma sai na ko ne ja sambur pukol ke ko nyo ke. Lorusa el chamus sambur na lo tu ngani aji na ka poke al ma am ki mona. Yam eti Zambia neti Tanzania kumwala ngabalo ti Kenya yendo mon ngai ndo kitinin eke ni ya si ke jonte ya ndo kitina mon ngai ningo do kodo ngai jangai to ngomono amgo lo po ke ya na ngai yo mon na ke shori lo ya lo ko do ngai jangai oke niko mon ngai to ngurukoto oke ningwa ngudo bun shona mata mana ngudo to kutina wi na mon ke ki no mon bugo bulengara ni bugo latan enga na nyi jigin daki ngudo aksich na le yol ke sich am ga nyar ba ga yol che te peral ke sich to gule ya marage bugo ri ga nyai na to kutin na mati si gulle na marage bu ya bugo ga ja ku ya la ya ku nyopa na tu ai papa la ya bu tu anyo tu ga ngone lo ra ta pa na chamon ne dingai ya nyu nang kai bido kai aisha pag lugule na lugule seseni ye wini na da bujarang kai bido kai ta na da ko li kya dam kai na da seseni la ta nan nei to na dong kai sho pog li kai o eti na ging shu ya ye ting ya nai we call it spirit na ya dang to ya ngara sa ni ki jo do ki na soul na ki jo na ma jo moyo da na ro dang to na ma jo ek swahili da na si na nafsi Ina logo nei tu mon gai sesen. Gaba kale to ngop na shon gai le gai ngeju ta na chagal pa ke ne ke ngop ne to ko dubule apuku na na la di pa ki ta da gelo. Ne je na jolo mo lang gai tini. So in short circuiting my speech to talk my mother tongue, which I know better than many languages surely, because that is at my first school and my mom taught me very well. All right. So in this kind of a Matthew chapter 7, verse 7 and 8, we are told we need to ask God things and seek also things and knock persistently the door of God to open for us to receive what we are intending to have by faith, obvious, because God can open a door and God is omnipresent everywhere. Omniscience is knowledgeable and also omnipotent, so powerful. So there's nothing that God cannot, give us. You also continue by saying, God is likened to a parent, that whenever you ask your parent for, a kind of a fish, or bread in that case, he will give you something which you have asked for. If you ask for a fish, will you give him a snake? No, in verse 9. Alright? When you ask God something, in verse 10, when you ask God something, it's like, for example, if you ask God for fish to eat, He cannot give you a snake in that case. He will give you what you have asked. Particularly if you have asked God by faith. Now I have a kind of a bit profound question here, because I'm a teacher in theology, and we used to ask students a kind of a probing question, and also we give them answers. And since now this channel I'm using is worldwide, acceptable for all human beings to hear what I'm saying, I would like to ask this question. Why pray for God's will to be done if God knows things even before we ask? If we read actually Matthew chapter 6 verse 10, we are told here, your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Let the kingdom of God come. That's a prayer, kind of one prayer God, Jesus Christ recommended for human being to ask God. By saying, you have to say this and that, but eventually say, may God's will be done. So why pray for God's will to be done in that verse? Because when we do, we yield God's what? Authority. When we ask God also, Mungu wangu, mapenzi yako ifanyike, tunauliza Mungu mamlaka yake ikuje juu yako. We ask God for that kind of authority to come upon you, so that you will not remain the same person. In 2 Corinthians chapter 5:17, once you have accepted God, you become a new being. The old kind of a person is gone. You have now a new person. having confessed your sin in 1 John 1:9, and God has accepted you in his kingdom in John 1:12. Now you can assess God's throne to ask, to seek, and knock, and he will now answer you according to his will. So God is going to give you a kind of authority. You will yield God authority because he will now give you permission to fulfill his promise of what you have asked in your life. So we need also to have a kind of a humble, contrite spirit of humbleness. Alright? Usiletee Mungu kimbelembele. Watu wanamletea wakuu wa dunia na hata Mungu. Alright? Respect also those people in opposition authority, like President, even His Excellency Dr. William Samarito, but is subject for correction. We are there to rebuke him and also correct him as a human being. Because we are living in a fallen world of sin, and we have fallen short of God's glory in Romans 3:23 verse. And the wages of sin is death in Romans 6:23 verse. Alright? And we need to know then, that case, we need to be submissive to the authority if they are serving us well, and we need also to resist bad government in Acts chapter 5 verse 29 and 30 verses. So we need to have a kind of a humble admission, contrite heart, broken kind of heart when you approach the throne of God to speak to him. So remember that if you want to have a better prayer, that God's will be done in your prayers and not to be obstructed by hindrance of your sinfulness and pride, pomp of pride kind of life, you need to approach God in humble kind of advancement in order for you to assess his kingdom and also for God to hear you in that case. So we need to do that. What are the benefits of sincere fasting? Some people, I used to go to different churches, and I've experienced some churches are fasting more than others. I'm a politician looking forward to be United States of Kenya Republic President come 2027 election or prior to that, depending with the government kind of administration now in place of our President, His Excellency Dr. William Samuel Ruto, which I'm looking forward to marry his youngest daughter, Miss Charlene Ruto, to be my first lady to hold this Bible. Around the corner on September 13th, 2027, the day the President holds the Bible like this. It will be a precise date of 5 years lifespan. If the President is going to do just type of kind of justice or leave him in office prior to that because of the crashing down economy. It will be actually on September 13, 2027. Is the day I'm going to hold this Bible together with his daughter, the youngest daughter. Miss Charlene Ruto will be called now Charlene Michael Otome after holding the Bible. So what I want to say here, we need to pray for God's will to be done. I'm looking forward to be Kenya President. A lecturer clergy who have taught paramilitary service unit for 12 years here in Mpakazi, 2000, Utawala College, 2004, 2016, because of seriousness, my seriousness, and patriotic kind of life, freely as a civilian spiritual affairs instructor, I've taught them for 12 years without them paying me anything. But God has been sustaining me, and He's going to, honor the work of my hand to bless me to be the Kenya President. In Deuteronomy 28 verse 12. God is going to bless the work of my hand. Alright, that's why I need to look forward a lot from human favors. What do I have to say here? I'm looking forward to be Kenya President come 2027 election. With my Vice President or Deputy President, because that government we will call them Vice President. His Excellency Nixon Kugubo Jeremiah was on ballot paper 2007 election, December 27, 2007 election, general election. And he was actually number one, obvious, because Bokusu's Luya are the second tribe in numerical numbers in Kenya population. They are numbering 6.8 million human beings as I speak now in Kenya Republic, which will be later now be called United States of Kenya Republic with a different kind of a overhaul, even flag and many currency impact. We will use United States of America currency, because this one is valueless, Kenya shillings. In order for us to trade in these many resources we're having, minerals, water, clean water, also wind, which is turning to be electricity, and wind power in that case, energy, and also petroleum all over the country. So what I want to say here, my first president will be Nixon Kogobo, Honorable Nixon Kogobo, retired Kenyan brigadier. And then I'm going to have also a powerful Prime Minister, His Excellency Dr. Barracks from US, the son of Kenya who have ruled America for so many years successfully. Dr. Barack Hussein Obama will be our powerful Prime Minister in the next government, in charge of all government ministries affairs and state as affairs agencies affairs. My first lady also will be none other than the one I mentioned, Miss Charlene Ruto, the youngest daughter of our incoming head of state, Sir Dr. William Samuel Ruto. So what we want to tell Kenyans, I want us to pray without ceasing, simply because we are facing a lot of crisis in the country. Particularly our soldiers now, militaries, are not in time with the president. And that's why I told them the other day,